The government has postponed debates on the Urban Renewal Bill to the next Dewan Rakyat meeting in October. Meanwhile, opposition MPs staged a walkout after failing to stall the Government Procurement Bill 2025. Former Finance Minister Daim Zainuddin's widow has lodged a complaint with Suakam, urging it to investigate alleged institutional abuse of power. Stay tuned for all this and more on Kini News. The government has postponed debates on the Urban Renewal Bill until the next Dewan Rakyat sitting in October. The bill had faced heavy criticism not only from the opposition but also from government MPs. However, it's unclear if the delay is tied directly to this pushback. A source close to Housing Minister Ngakor Min confirmed to Malaysia Kini that the bill won't be debated today, which is the final day of the current session. Meanwhile, the opposition celebrated the deferment, with Past Information Chief Ahmad Fadli Shari calling it a victory. In a post on Facebook, he said the URA will not be debated and voted on today, which is another victory for the Rakyat, and urged resistance to continue. Many quarters, including from parties that support the government, had urged Putrajaya to postpone the second reading of the proposed law. Earlier today, UMNO Deputy President Muhammad Hassan reportedly said that BN MPs supported the call for the postponement. Berita Harian quoted him as saying that he believed the bill should be reviewed, taking into account concerns raised by many parties. Critics of the bill had argued that the URA risks upsetting the racial balance in cities to the detriment of Malays. They also claimed the proposed legislation lacks clear protection and compensation mechanisms.
Speaker,
ini sandiwara tak
speaker nampak speaker ni cuba mengalih piago.
Nanti saya nak bagi satu-satu dulu.
Kalah baru keluar.
Tadi keputusan.
Dua lalu longan.
Nak balik
awal cakap lah.
Pinches pun kena ignore. Nanti. Keputusan. Nak balik awal. Siapa yang nak keluar sebab itu permintaan Ketua Mangkang. Namun begitu bangi silakan. Yang nak keluar.
Opposition MPs staged a walkout from the Dewan Rakyat today. This came after the Government Procurement Bill 2025 passed for a second reading with a block vote. The walkout followed heated arguments from Perikatan Nasional lawmakers, who expressed dissatisfaction with the bill not going through the Parliamentary Special Select Committee on Finance and Economy. In response, Speaker Johari Abdul said that under the new standing order, a PSSC must write to any ministry if it wants a specific bill to be referred to its committee. Dissatisfied with the answer, Opposition Chief Hamzah Zainuddin then stood up and dismissed it as an excuse. He said they rejected the bill because it was not referred to any of the select committees and called for the opposition members to walk out as a show of protest. The Dewan Rakyat later passed the bill after it went through debates at the committee stage and a third reading. Former Finance Minister Daim Zainuddin's widow has lodged a complaint with Suhakam. Naima Abdul Khalid lodged the complaint today against the Prime Minister's office, the Attorney General's chambers, and the MACC. She urged Suakam to investigate them over alleged institutional abuse of power.
Today, I have submitted my complaint to Suhakam because what is at stake goes beyond my family. It is about the integrity of our institutions, the rule of law, and the rights of every Malaysian. The rule of law means nothing if enforcement agencies are placed above it. Without accountability, power becomes persecution, not protection. No citizen should feel that justice depends on political favor or that state power can be used without oversight.
Meanwhile, Naima's lawyer, Rajesh Nagarajan, told the press that the complaint was a last point of recourse and they hoped that such alleged abuses would be addressed. Rajesh Nagarajan said they hoped the statutory bodies would take action, especially the police. He called on the police to investigate allegations in a Bloomberg article last year. The article had implicated Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim and MACC Chief Azam Baki of a conspiracy to target Daim and Dr. Mahathir Mohamad with investigations. Daim, who died last November, and Naima have been investigated over the former minister's wealth. They were both charged with the alleged failure to abide by MACC notices for the couple to disclose their assets. From now on, you can also listen to Kini News on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us. Setef Sharibu, the father of murdered Mongolian national Atantuya Sharibu, has filed a judicial review in the Kuala Lumpur High Court. He wants authorities to investigate or complete their probe into the contents of former police officer Azila Hadri's additional affidavit. Azila, one of two former Special Action Unit officers convicted of Altantuya's murder, filed an additional affidavit in September 2024. He had relied on this additional affidavit, among other documents, in his federal court bid to have his death sentence commuted. The affidavit incorporates a statutory declaration from October 2019, where he claimed he acted under explicit instructions. In a statement this morning, Setev's lawyer Sanggit Kaurdio confirmed that a judicial review application has been filed at the Kuala Lumpur High Court. The hearing for the leave application has been fixed for September 29th. Following the court's decision last October, Altantuya's family urged the government to investigate the allegations made in the affidavit. In January, Sanggit renewed the call, stressing that the administration cannot afford to appear complicit and must honor its pledge to uphold the rule of law by investigating the claims. In 2019, the Shah Alam High Court found Azila Hadri and the other UTK officer, Sirul Azhar Umma, guilty of murdering Altantuya. The Court of Appeal overturned their convictions in 2013, but the federal court reinstated them 2 years later, sentencing both men to death. Former Law Minister Zaid Ibrahim has backed calls for a royal commission on Petronas. However, he said to be fair, the RCI should also look into accountability of Sarawak's leadership. Zaid said this in response to a Sarawak senator's call for a RCI to investigate how Petronas utilized more than 1 trillion ringgit in profits generated from the state's oil and gas resources. Senator Robert Lau had claimed on Tuesday that while Petronas is often portrayed as the golden goose that sustained the nation during economic crisis, the real goose is Sarawak and Petronas merely collects its eggs. Among others, he lamented that while Sarawak has long poured its rich resources into fueling national development, it continues to trail as one of Malaysia's slowest growing economies. In response to this, Zaid said that the RCI should look at whether funds were fairly distributed across states and why so little is publicly disclosed in a company owned wholly by the people. He added that it should also look at how Sarawak leaders manage federal allocations, natural resources, and state-owned enterprises. He pointed out that for decades, billions flowed into Sarawak for schools, rural roads, and clinics, but audits have uncovered significant leakages. He said at the heart of the Commission's work must be a simple question: why, despite trillions in oil wealth, are Sarawakians, especially rural and indigenous communities, still deprived? If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Warisan Supreme Council has made its call for the 17th Sabah state election. The party will contest all 73 seats in the Sabah Legislative Assembly without teaming up with anyone else. At a press conference in Kota Kinabalu, its president Shafi Abdal said the decision was unanimous. He said this means there will be no coalitions or collaborations, and if the public sees photos or hears stories, do not believe them. He stressed it's not his personal call as party president, but the party's unanimous decision to go solo. The current Sabah Assembly will be automatically dissolved on November 11th, if it is not dissolved before then, clearing the way for the state polls. Shafi said Warisan's only collaboration is with the people of Sabah. He added that the party's focus is on meeting the people's needs, such as reliable water supply, electricity, and good road infrastructure throughout the state. Elaborating on the party's decision to go solo, Shafi recalled past collaborations with other parties and said that those efforts failed to produce significant results in improving the welfare of Sabah's people. He said they only fought over seat numbers and ministerial posts, then jumped ship when dissatisfied. Yesterday, Hulu Terengganu MP Rosul Wahid suggested that caning for undisciplined students should be brought back to schools. Wahid said this while debating the proposals by the Special Select Committee on Women, Children and Community Development to tackle bullying. We posted a poll to find out what the public thought about the matter. Here are the results. A majority of voters agreed with bringing back caning at schools, with 75% believing that it would build discipline and prevent bullying. Only 5% thought that caning is too harsh of a punishment and would have no impact. Meanwhile, 19% of voters think there should be strict guidelines on it. A voter commented that they agree with caning, saying that it would teach students that consequences come with their actions. Another said that education begins at home, where parents must be firm and instill discipline in their children before teachers can build on that foundation. What are your thoughts on the matter? Share your views in the comment section below. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.